matter-of-factly ignored and vilified, like the mums of Epping, for even suggesting it. But let's be very real. The only way you deal with this and make women and girls safe in this country is to immediately detain and deport these men as soon as they arrive.
Deport them where?
Back to where they've come from. And I could not care less if that's not a safe place because they're safe
I'm not talking about safe place. I'm talking, if you don't have a returns agreement, you cannot deport them.
Then they go to France.
No, you can't. And France won't take them. So what do? You drop them in the middle of the channel
to drown?
No, there are not ways around it. There are not ways around it.
We have to.
They are here.
But we have to explore some imaginative schemes. If the country they're from won't take returns, we will ban that country from visas. What about building something on Ascension Island or somewhere else? Nobody is grasping for these imaginative solutions.
Can I ask you this, Nina? Because the thing one of the things that really winds me up about this is that for years and years and years, people who raised concerns about sexual assaults, rapes, propensity to violent crimes, etc., from people of different cultures and some different countries were called racist. They were told there's no evidence for it. And actually, it looks very much like possibly the whole time our actual Home Office knew that that was true and were trying to do something about it. And we were all told, no, you're horrible little racists. You know, people in Parliament, left-wingers in Parliament, at these big refugees welcome marches, at the march against the far right, all of this stuff, were calling out basically anyone who said what is in a Home Office document given to these people. Do you not think that we're owed a massive apology?
Yes.
I think that this is a situation that almost nobody can solve at this moment. It is, and until we have a returns agreement with different countries, until we have some means of deporting them, because you cannot just get the Royal Navy and shove them back into the middle of the ocean. You cannot do that.
Yeah.
You cannot do that. You have to deal in pragmatic terms. And the point being that if it is the case that there's a greater propensity for crime, and while I'm talking about, I just want to pick you up on something. You said that you talked about that TV advert about crime sexual crime on the tube, showing a white perpetrator against a black woman. You said that 36% of crimes on public transport
foreign nationals.
Well, foreign nationals. Well,
because we've imported nearly 40%.
I know, but that means that 66%, 64% are the other way around.
You never see the 40% in a TV advert.
Let's see that. But
that was banned.
But then the majority
white as well. Yeah. There is that. There's a lot of ethnic minority Brits.
But also, how many? All this be pragmatic. We can't just send them back to France. How many people are supposed to be raped, sexually assaulted, and murdered until we stop being pragmatic and actually just put their interests first?
Well,
I'm not prepared to let that happen to anybody.
Well, let's go into homes and see how many women are being sexually abused and raped by British husbands.
We've got our own scumbags in this country that need
I want us to be pragmatic as well, but my pragmatic starting point is how do we solve the problem of these people not getting into the country? And if they do get in, that they are swiftly and safely removed.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't seem the government even accepts that is the problem. They want a pragmatic solution.
They understand that. Of course, they understand that. But it is. If it was easy, it would have been done before now. The Tories failed.
I just think
why did? And Ed Davies got a brilliant suggestion in joining the EU new task an asylum pact, which would mean that we would renegotiate that aspect with the EU. We would go to get a form of the Dublin Agreement, be able to immediately deport people straight to the country, the EU country which they first landed in. That would solve things. It would cost us 100 million to join, which is way less than the Rwanda scheme cost us, and then we'd also have access to the biometric data, which we haven't had since Brexit.
Well, I know there's a
the disaster of Brexit.